into this thing. It's an unfortunate part of our game, but like I told him, I know he'll attack it the right way.
NBA, the Bucks are in Toronto tonight against the Raptors. A recap coming up later tonight with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy and a low near 10 tonight. For tomorrow, a mostly cloudy sky and highs in the low 20s. Wednesday and Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temps warm up to around 20 on Wednesday, mid-20s for Thursday. It's 24 right now.
The Todd Alba Show.
What's going on in Washington today as we move into 2025? Have your antenna up. Don't rely on all the media sources. Just your own wisdom, your own heart, your own gut. Listen to what they're saying about our friends and neighbors and family, because we innately know these people that we live with every day in our communities. Don't allow words and thoughts to tear us apart. Hold fast to that which we know, which is good.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Todd Alba.
Hey, everybody, join us next time. Civic Media's own Luke Mathers will be in with a Tuesday Tangent with Lukester and your calls. Join us.
The Todd Alba. Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy still not convinced computers are here to stay, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Let's light it up. It is a Monday night here in the state of Wisconsin, a beautiful but frigid night. I am coming to you live from Madison, Wisconsin tonight. Always fun to do the show from here. Conrad is holding the fort down back in Green Bay, and things look pretty normal there, Conrad. I have to say, you look like you're not up to no good. I can see that you're towing the company line there in my absence. So thank you for that.
You
How
don't
you doing
see
tonight, buddy?
I mean, you don't see the kegs all around, so
no.
They're on the other side of the studio.
That's all right. Is that from you or Mino and the mayor?
Well, we had a mixed party.
You know, when I was your age, if I had to do a morning show starting at 6 a.m., there are nights when I could have just gone right onto the air from a party. Like, I would have just stayed up. I could never do that now, but this is actually the perfect time slot. Wherever you are joining us from in the great state of Wisconsin, folks, it is great to have you with me on this Monday. We all need some cheering up. It's the first week of ordinary time, I would say, after the holidays. And we probably all need a pick-me-up. I know that I kind of let the holidays go an extra weekend. I did really almost nothing this past weekend except hang out with my kids who were home for the holidays and eat some good food. I continue to drink non-alcoholic beers at an alarming pace. And I am back to it. You got to get back to it. And this is a Monday night, so we all need to pull together, talk about TV, talk about movies, maybe some comedy, and get through this Monday as we start the new year. The one encouraging thing is, and I think this is kind of cool, I think we gain about 30 seconds of daylight every day since the winter solstice, since December 21st. So already we have like 7 extra minutes? No, that's like 2 weeks ago now. So that's like 7 extra minutes of daylight. So it's only going to get better. We'll get through January. It will be fun. And we'll do it. We'll do Nite Lite the way we always do it. We have great guests tonight. Katie Scullen is here in the studio. She is a Madison-based singer-songwriter. She will be joining me live, playing some tunes, talking music. I had Katie on the show before. She's just great, and I love talking to her about her process. And she's got a great voice. She's going to perform live for you guys tonight. And then Matt Miller is going to come by over the stream, that is, and talk about the Golden Globes. Big night last night in show business. Awards season kicked off. Lots of fun stuff from the broadcast that we'll discuss with Matt, and we'll find out what he's watching. He has a great Substack if you want to check out A Man About Film at Matt's Substack. He will keep you informed, does a great job there too. And I will say, Conrad, I don't know what you did over the break mostly. I played a lot of Wii. I did mention that briefly last week. How long has it been since you've played Wii?
I'd say, probably about like 6 months ago.
Oh, that recently?
Yeah, one of my friends who lives in Green Bay actually has a Wii, and coming back from the bars, we'd play some Wii bowling. Or our favorite would be Wii golf, though.
Wii golf. I don't even like golf in real life. I find it really frustrating.
Yes.
But Wii golf, I absolutely love. The kids and I, one night, I bet we spent 3 hours doing the 3-point Wii Sports Resort. They have a 3-point contest. And you just shoot, and it's so much fun, and it is so addicting. So I would say, overall, Wii is my favorite video game. I like the interactivity. I like that you get to stand up if you want to. You're actually doing something, not just using your thumbs. No judgment against other video games, but I find this to be, you have a lot of laughs when you play too. It's like whether you throw a gutter ball on a video game or the 3-point contest or golf or whatever, so much fun. And, it brought us together over the holidays like it used to 10 years ago. So it was a great holiday season for that reason. And it brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to our question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
Pretty simple. What is your favorite video game? You have so much to pull from here, folks, too. You can go back to Pong. That might have been the first video game. I don't remember any before that. That doesn't mean they don't exist. But that's the first one I remember. I was very small, very young. And, and I don't know, what was after that? I guess Nintendo, Saving the Princess.
Atari.
Space Invaders in the video arcade. You can go video arcade if you want to. Atari. Then you got Sony PlayStation. I remember playing the James Bond game, Ken Griffey Baseball. I know Super Smash Brothers is huge with my son and his friends from a few years ago. You got Minecraft. So many great video games to choose from. Some they've turned into TV shows like Fallout. And what's the HBO show, the Pedro Pascal? The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yep.
So video games have a rich history. What is your favorite one? And I'm not a gamer. I've played a few almost by accident over the years. But I'll say Wii. I love Wii. Mostly just because of my memories playing it with my kids. But I would have to say that is by far and away my favorite. If I had to go into the arcade, I would probably say a game like Mr. Do or Dig Dug. Always like those games too. I don't like a good game of pinball. But what is your favorite video game? Let us know. Be part of the show. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Love to hear from you. You guys can weigh in on anything we're talking about tonight. As you know, it's always more fun when you guys are part of the show. Coming to you live from Madison tonight, Conrad holding the fort down back in Green Bay. I have a pet peeve, Conrad, regarding sports highlights.
Okay.
So I was kind of flipping back and forth last night between the Golden Globes and Minnesota-Detroit. My son really wanted to watch Minnesota-Detroit. I was in Milwaukee staying with him at his apartment, so his TV, he kind of won. But after that, we watched highlights. You know what really irritates me is when there's a really exciting game and they show you something from the game, and what do they show you? The game-winning field goal, a 40-yard field goal, the most boring play in the whole game. Show me the play that set the field goal up. The great run, the tiptoe catch on the sidelines. Those are highlights. It's like when you watch like MMA or something, and ESPN always does this. The highlights are a guy laying down, knocked out. Show me the highlight. I know they want to get you to buy it, But the NFL could show something else. To me, that's like lazy. Oh, here's the field goal he kicked. It's not really a highlight. And last night there was like 3 in a row. Just a guy kicking a field goal. Show me a good play. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, field goals are really, they're not easy though. So you can't just go past.
Boo, boring, don't care. They're not fun to watch. It's a guy, it's a kicker. I hear what you're saying. But I don't think that's the most exciting part of the game. I think they could show a great pass or run or a big tackle, something.
Or that big horse collar.
Oh, and the Bears-Packers. Oh, we haven't talked about that.
The
Dude,
crowd.
we were so due.
The
were
crowd.
You at the game?
Oh, my. Everyone was so mad when it was definitely a horse collar. Terrible tackle on his part. I'd just let him throw the ball away if he needs to. That was unacceptable.
Had him on the
their
run.
defense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that was surreal. And right as the announcer, was it Troy Aikman? I can't remember. No, they weren't.
I was at the game, so
okay.
Yeah, it was cold.
It looked cold, and it looked. Did you see? What did you think of Craig T. Nelson singing the national anthem?
I think he did a really good job. I thought.
Really?
You didn't like? You didn't like it?
He did a good job. He carried a tune.
Yeah.
I don't think, and maybe I'm holding him up to, like, we have Katie Sculling coming in here tonight. She's a great singer. I don't think Craig T. Nelson is a great singer. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job. There was someone behind me when he was singing. He's like, "Come on, give it some." He's like, "Come on, sing."
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. The guy's 80 years old. You know, it was kind of cool that he was there. He had really cool stuff to say about Lambeau and being there. That was fun. The movie, I didn't really know anything about it until Clemens was on the show last week and started talking about it. So now I'm very curious. I want to get someone from the movie on the show because I guess they filmed it primarily in Door County. So we'll have to look more into that. But apparently it's a story about a farmer who bets everything on the Packers to save his farm. Might also be a gambling addict. I don't know. But
yeah, if it depends what year it is,
Yeah, right, exactly. So, and then we've got Golden Globes to talk about. I thought, from what I saw of the broadcast, and I saw most of it over the course of today and some of it last night, I thought it was great. Last year was the Joe Coy fiasco with him emceeing and like offending the writers and all that kind of stuff, and he got the gig last minute. I thought Nikki Glaser, she's kind of hit or miss for me, but she is funny and she's a presence, and I thought she did a pretty good job. You don't, though, or did you like her?
No. Okay, so I said there were some moments where I was like, it was kind of cringy a little bit to me.
Yeah,
but I mean, still Nikki Glaser. I think she's a great comedian. So I still enjoyed it.
The Timothy Chalamet joke was very funny. I really like your lashes above your lip.
I got the clip where she's talking to Adam Sandler. If you want me to play it.
Oh, let's hear. Do we have time for that?
Yeah,
let's play that. This is Nikki Glaser from last night at the Golden Globes.
Actually, your name sounds like something Adam Sandler would say. Salome. Timothy and Salome. Oh, yes, Timothy Chalamet. I think Sandler's here. Sandler, can I get a Chalamet?
Salome!
Oh, Salome. A good Salome to you, sir. A Salome to you.
That's a great moment. That's good TV. It was nice of her to engage Sandler. He doesn't get that much attention, so it was nice for her to rope him in. And I thought her joke about Dune was funny too. When she was talking to Zendaya, and she said, "I loved all your parts in Dune. I woke up for them," or something like that. It was good. I thought she did a good job. And some good moments, some big wins. We'll talk all about that with Matt Miller at 7:20. Coming up after the news at the bottom of the hour. Katie Scullen is in the hizzy. That means House Conrad. I'm street. Katie will be here in studio. Very excited to have her. And we'll read some of your texts coming up next. And we might have a clip or two. We'll see what happens. It's crazy. It's a Monday night coming to you live from Madison. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
In the market for a home loan? It's time to meet Kristen Ambos, the top 1% of loan originators in the U.S. and the #1 female loan officer in Wisconsin for 2 years running. With over 20 years experience, Kristen and Point Mortgage Corporation are here to serve all of your lending needs, from conventional to FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Plus, with their rate match guarantee, if they can't beat your pre-approved rate, they'll pay you $500. Call Kristen Ambos today at 920-606-1156 and let her and Point Mortgage make your home ownership dreams come true.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Max Inc. on Civic Media with Mike and Wendy from Sunspot.
Can you imagine the mosh pit on the bridge that could happen?
Oh, well, that's how the original series was when they moved the camera. Whenever it's the red alert, right?
Yeah,
that was the mosh pit.
Yeah. And everybody had to fake
right. Lean left, lean right.
Yeah.
Join us for all the fun with Max Inc. on Saturday night.
Paula from the 920 says, when the boys were younger, we played Wii Bowling. It's good family fun. Should have kept it. Paula, I think the game was kept and it landed in your son's.
No, remember I said we got rid of it, and I regret not having it anymore because I would definitely have that at my house right now.
Do you think Wii Bowling makes you better at actual bowling?
I don't think
Use
so.
the bumpers? Yeah, probably not. Our question tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is what is your favorite video game? I did nothing but drink non-alcoholic beer, sit on my butt, and play Wii for 2 weeks. I was sick before that. I feel like, Conrad, I was looking good for a while, wouldn't you say? I was working hard, man. I had a 1.5 pack going, and now I'm back to like nothing. So I have to turn it around. And I think Wii is one of those games. It gets you up on your feet. You're doing stuff. That's my favorite video game. What's yours? I'd love to know. 855-752-4842. And what was yours again, K-Man?
Oh, my favorite video game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'd say when I was younger, it was definitely Guitar Hero.
Interesting.
Because I think my brother had it, and we would always kind of bond over that. Otherwise, right now, excellent. I've been playing video games for my whole life, pretty much. I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's a lot of fun.
I didn't say it was a waste of time. I mean, I'm not schooled in video games. I played a few.
Yeah.
You know, in college, we used to sit there for hours and try to save the princess.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Right now, I'd say it's any sports game. Actually, I'll play NBA games, NFL games, NHL games. Name it, I'll probably play it.
I try to do that. I try to play like my son will always want me to play Madden, and I lose like 142-0. Like, I'm never playing that again. Why would I ever play that again? And I'm not going to play it and practice at it to get good because that just seems pathetic. But Eric from Madison says, Bosconian. I need some help with that one. Is that a video game that you're aware of?
I think it's like Space Invaders, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. I love Space Invaders. Thank you, Eric. Ronnie from Horicon says, Pac-Man, one of the classics. Love Pac-Man. Anytime there's a video game that they spin a song, someone creates a song out of it, that's pretty big time.
Yeah.
There's Pac-Man Fever. I don't know if you can find that. We can Okay. It was not a great song, but I mean, it's impressive. I used to love Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man. Steve from Florida, he's in the 920, says, my brother bought the Nintendo game back in the day, 80s. At first, I thought, why are you wasting money on a stupid game? Turns out I ended up getting addicted to the game where I ended up saving the princess. Wow. That's a serious time commitment. That's impressive. The sad thing is, when I saved the princess, I was playing by myself and wasn't able to share the experience with my brother and friends. So I think you're making it up. You believe your dad saved your dad? Is he an embellisher, Conrad, or do you?
I think he saved the princess. I think he did it.
Like, who would lie about that? It's not going to help you get girls when you're 20. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
you
I saved the princess.
Oh yeah. Are you dating anyone? I believe your dad. Monica from the 608, she's in Mount Horeb, says, grew up on Pong, but we didn't have other video games. For a while, they had a youth center in my town, and I was the queen of pinball. Pinball's awesome. Totally with you, Monica. She says, I could play all evening on 75 cents. My parents got a computer after I moved out. When I would visit, my dad would say he knew I was playing Tetris when he heard me swearing profusely. Swearing at Tetris. That is some serious That's a competitive person. I don't think I'd want to play any video games with Monica. Nothing personal, Monica. But if you're I have a friend who's a comedian who was staying at another friend of mine, a comic named Rich Jenny. God rest his soul. Rich went to bed, and our mutual friend was playing Tetris at like 1 a.m. Rich woke up the next morning, and our friend was still playing Tetris like 7 hours later. Like, that's how, if you have an addictive personality and you have an addictive game, I totally see how that can happen. With my kids this weekend, I was playing, I told you, the 3-point contest at Wii. We played for 2 hours plus easily. And you sit, and then 2 other people go, then it's your turn again, and you talk. It's really fun, but that's addicting too. Let's go to the stream. Craig says, favorite video game from the days of the arcades, Battlezone, Robotron, Dragon's Lair, Donkey Kong. Craig's got a few. He says, to be a kid with a pocket of quarters again. I'm not going to make a roll of quarters joke in your pocket, Craig, because I'm way too mature for that. But I get it. Craig says, Port Plaza Mall's Gold Mine Arcade. I remember that. Whenever we would go to Green Bay for Marinette, that was always a big deal because they had a bigger arcade than we had in Marinette. Craig also says, Colcavision Rules. Do you know what that is, K-Man?
I don't.
It is probably some. Listen, I'm not going to. Craig sounds like he knows his stuff. So, all right. So you got a lot of time to get in on the fun, folks. We've got our question of the night is, what is your favorite video game? And lots of good answers. We're going to talk Golden Globes with Matt Miller. Did you see any of these movies they were talking about, Conrad?
So, I did watch, I bought Wicked because you can get it on Amazon now.
Mm-hmm.
And last time when we talked with Matt, Matt said it was a little too long. Could have ended a little bit earlier. And I agree with that. But I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was great. I really liked Wicked. I think it was Rob Thomas that said there was one dance scene in there where he didn't really understand it, or it was cut weird. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that I felt that same way until he said that. But yeah, I'm nitpicking. I really liked it. I thought it was a great movie and lots of fun. My issue with these award shows, and like the Golden Globes especially, because it happens right after the holidays, are they release these films like the week before. You don't have time to see them before the first award show. So I haven't seen The Brutalist yet. I haven't seen Amelia Perez, which is on Netflix, actually. But there's a lot of films that just came out that I haven't seen yet. So, I mean, I got time before the Oscars come out, but I do feel a little bit behind. I want to talk about Landman, too. Maybe I'll talk about that with Matt. I'm not a fan. Taylor Sheridan, I swear to God, like, I like half of his stuff, and I really dislike the other half. So maybe Matt can talk me through that. All right. Katie Scullin is in studio, singer-songwriter based in Madison. She's been on the show before. Very excited to have her here in person. We will talk to Katie, and we will hear her lovely voice on the other side of the news. The news from your Civic Media News team, which keeps you informed and is award-winning, I might add. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Here comes my baby. Here she comes now. Walking with a love that's so fine. Never to be mine.
Into the talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Get her on the stream.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa
weird. It's
Hale.
like a
A
mirror.
Wisconsin-based restaurant chain is stepping up to support the families affected by last month's tragic school shooting in Madison. With more, here's Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska.
Dozens of Culver's restaurants in Wisconsin will be contributing a percentage of their sales today towards support for the Abundant Life Christian School community. The nearly 70 confirmed Culver's restaurants taking part will have a Make Your Meal Matter sign displayed. The amount to be donated is up to each individual restaurant. On December 16th, 3 people, including the shooter, died and 6 people were hurt in a shooting at the school in Madison. A Culver's spokesperson said they were deeply moved to see so many locations taking part in the fundraiser.
In our area, the Culvers in De Pere, Fond du Lac, Grand Chute, Green Bay, Little Chute, Neenah, Oshkosh, Ripon, and Watoma are all participating in the fundraiser. The Wisconsin State Legislature may consider the legalization of medical marijuana again in the next session. With new district maps, Republican state lawmakers hold a smaller majority in both chambers of the legislature, and some have expressed a willingness to engage in medical marijuana discussions again. The topic has been considered in the past, but lawmakers were unable to come to an agreement on how best to regulate medical marijuana. A previous plan was opposed by Democratic legislators as being too restrictive. A projection from the Wisconsin Department of Administration found that the state's population is expected to decline over the next 25 years. According to the report, Department of Administration officials expect a population loss of about 200,000 people by 2050. Researchers evaluated decreasing fertility rates and an increasing average age of the state population. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.fm.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. To some people, life is just downtime between superhero movies. Ultra fans of Spider-Man are experiencing that downtime and probably trying to decipher rumors regarding their favorite web-spinning superhero. Andrew Garfield addressed his potential involvement in Spider-Man 4, which is currently in the works. Tom Holland is signed on to the project, but other than that, little else is known. Garfield disappointed his fans and put the kibosh on his potential appearance, telling GQ the only thing that might bring him back one day would be if he had 5 kids and needed to pay for tuition. 2 words for you, Andrew: community college. Jeremy Allen White is getting high praise for his portrayal of Bruce Springsteen by none other than Bruce Springsteen. The Bear actor plays the boss in the upcoming Bruce-based biopic Deliver Me From Nowhere. In a recent interview on SiriusXM, Springsteen said not only does he think White is a good actor, but praised his singing as well. Deliver Me From Nowhere will be released sometime in 2025. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy and a low near 10 tonight. For tomorrow, a mostly cloudy sky and highs in the low 20s. Wednesday and Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temps warm up to around 20 on Wednesday, mid-20s for Thursday. It's 24 right now.
What's the Nintendo game?
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas.
I love that one too.
1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
How long is that in radio, Chris?
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dom Selvia.
Next time, we go overtime with Maggie Dawn, America's mayor held in 10 seconds.
says the TV show Chuck had an episode in season 2 where he beat the game Missile Command listening to Rush's Tom Sawyer. I'll take your word for it, Mark. That's incredible. What blows me away now is that people make a living having other people watch them play video games. It's insane. It's like watching fishing. The Brian Regan joke. You're not even fishing. You're watching fishing. So, whatever floats your boat. Hey, I'm Pete Schwaba. Welcome back. We are broadcasting statewide from Madison tonight from what is this, Chris? WMDX, right? Yeah.
WMDX.
Yeah, it's always fun to do the show from here. Chris Casper helping out. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, as always. Conrad holding the fort back down, back in Green Bay. Telling everyone to keep it down so I don't know he's throwing a party. Right now, I'm very excited to welcome my next guest. She has been on the show before. She's a Madison-based singer-songwriter, and she's awesome in so many ways. And her name is Katie Scullin. Katie, welcome back.
Hey, thanks. How's it going?
It's going great. It's so good to have you back. I really enjoyed you being here last time you came down. Do you live far away, or is this an easy commute for you?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm close by. I live in Oregon, just south of Madison.
Oh, it's like a burb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
good.
nice.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. Did you have good holidays?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
Anything
great.
special? Did you do anything exciting?
Yes, I redid the basement into a boy den for my son, and he was able to have a bunch of friends over for New Year's.
Wow. You did that yourself? Are you handy?
I pretend to be. No, I had a little bit of help, but yeah.
Okay.
It was great. We had a good time.
It's very emasculating because I'm not handy at all.
No?
So if you were going to tell me that you put up drywall and, laid down new floors, I would have felt really bad about
I have done some of that, but I get help from my dad.
Oh, that's impressive. Good for you. That's fantastic. And our question of the night, Katie, is what is your favorite video game? When you're not writing songs, do you ever play video games? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite back in the day was Duck Hunt. My son would love for it to be Fortnite. He's a Fortnite kid.
Does he do the dance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the dance is... I love the Fortnite dance. My son did it too, and it's like when he and his friends would break out into it,
right?
It was like the most fun thing to watch. And then like professional athletes were doing it, the Fortnite dance.
Right.
It's just a fun thing. So, and Duck Hunt's fun.
Yeah.
Like that was like a
pretty
big deal. Because that came free with
it was Nintendo.
Mario Brothers, right?
Nintendo, yeah.
That's right.
The old school. And then was it Mario Kart? I always liked that one.
Chris
too.
likes Mario Kart.
Yeah. It's fun.
All right. So we have you here though, not to talk about video games, but to
we can
have
talk about video games.
talk music. I didn't make you drive all the way from Oregon to talk about video games. So how have you been? How's the career going? Have you played any good gigs recently? Where are things at?
I've been good. Yeah. I've been mostly focused on writing and recording.
Okay.
My goal is to release a full length in 2025. So I have some time, but I've got, like 5 or 6 songs ready to go, 3, 4 in the works. But yeah, I've been just really focused on that. Played a couple shows. Indie Tune Up is one that I really like here in Fitchburg. Yeah.
How long does it take you to like when you have the concept of a song to write it down, mess around with it, from that moment to playing it live? What's that process like? How long is that?
I think it depends. Sometimes it will take months, and sometimes I'll write it in like a weekend.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, like I wrote one this weekend, which is strange because sometimes I'll go through like seasons of writer's block and won't be able to write anything at all.
Huh?
Yeah, that's too bad. But it all depends.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it takes forever, and then sometimes I'll write a song and I'll go back to it and change it completely. And yeah.
That's good. So here's what I do. Like I play guitar, I'm bad. And I'll think of like one line and I'll go, that could be a song.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a songwriter. And then that line ends up being the only thing I write. And I'll just play like 3 chords and sing that. And I'm like, I have no idea where to go with this. Like I'm pretty amazed just that someone can write a song, even one song.
Yeah.
So how many songs will you have when you feel comfortable putting out a new album, so to speak?
I would love to have at a minimum 9
Okay.
songs. I think is a good full length album. And a lot of people don't really put out full length albums anymore. It's more of like single song releases, and I'm kind of doing it, simultaneously. I'll like a single song release, and then eventually it will be, the whole album, all of those single releases.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sometimes that's all you need is just one line. That's sort of your vantage
to get
point.
you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when did you feel comfortable? Like, when you started out? I mean, you've been at this at least probably, 10 years or so? 8 or 10 years?
More than that.
More than that.
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been at it?
I guess probably I started with my brother in 2009. We started our first band. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been a while.
So how long did that take when you started playing with your brother and you guys, would perform? How many songs did you feel like you needed before you could play in front of other people? That has to be a big jump.
Oh gosh, I don't know. We probably had 5 to 10 between the two of us because he started songwriting as well in college, and then I started, and on the weekends we'd meet up and collaborate, and then we started learning cover songs to sort of fill in the gaps. I think the first thing we needed was like a 45-minute set.
Okay.
And then nowadays, most of the time it's like a 3-hour set, depending on the type of show that you do. If you're going to do like cover songs, you want to go, have 3 hours of music.
Yeah. How many of those 3 hours? I mean, even big time rock and roll stars play covers. They like to play other people's music, it seems like. How many of the songs you play like in a 3-hour set would be cover tunes?
I sort of gauge the crowd. I usually like to keep it somewhere around like 50-50, but if there's a lot of people that I recognize, I know they're there to hear the original song, so I can put more of those in.
Yeah.
It's fun. But yeah, if it's people I don't really know, you gotta warm up to them and play the songs that they like or that they recognize.
Will you, I think I know the answer to this, but will you be willing to play us a song?
Absolutely.
You have a guitar. I figured you were prepared for that question.
As long as I don't get a Freebird request.
Casper. What are you going to play for us?
Well, I think I'll do the one that we talked about. How about
the new one?
Sweet Escape?
Oh, Sweet
You wanna do
Escape.
Sweet
I love
Escape?
Sweet Escape.
Okay.
Yes, please. All right, here's Katie Scullin live in the studio playing Sweet Escape.
I was there on my own, not for rich, not for poor. It didn't mean a thing, just the chance to run, just the chance to be free. They came, fire in your eyes, you cut me blind, you stole my guiding light, you're making promises, you take all my dreams, you crawl inside and make them reality, yeah. Well, I found my way, yeah, my sweet escape. You took my heart down to that place. Oh no, no. You see, I was young and I was so naive, and you said, come on, little girl, and rest your bones with me. You try to feel all those thrills while you're holding me still, but you could never kill my own free will, no. And I found my way, yeah, my sweet escape. You took my heart down to that place. You tried to turn this on me, but I watched you beg, steal, and cheat. Baby, unchain my heart, and I set myself free. And I found my way, yeah. try to turn this on me. Well, I watched you beg, steal, and cheat. Baby, I unchained my own heart and I set myself free. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Very nice. Chris is clapping on the other side of it. Conrad, are you clapping in Green Bay? He's mysteriously dark. Okay. Yeah, he's good. There you go. You can hear him. That's a great song. I love
Thank you.
It's got such a bluesy. Let me ask you something. What is your favorite genre, would you say, that has influenced your songwriting or music writing styles?
Gosh, I don't know. I like all sorts of music. Sometimes people have referred to me as like a wet noodle because I can't quite put me in a genre. Growing up, I really loved Tori Amos. Tori Amos. I think that this particular song was inspired by Amy Winehouse, which maybe is why it has sort of that bluesy feel to it.
Yeah. It's kind of a haunting song too. It has a lot of undertones, going on there. So
yeah,
that's cool. So how do you know when you have a great song? Do you have to play it in front of an audience first, or do you go, this is it. I love this.
I think sometimes I just I feel good about it, or it hits me in a way where I'm like, I have to share it. I don't always know if it's good or not. But I think if I'm feeling something when I'm singing it, I guess I'm just hopeful that other people will resonate with that as well.
Do you need that connection with an audience to know? Do you like the song better when people respond to it, or is it a personal thing for you?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think for a while I did it because I just needed to. And then I started to receive feedback from people like, oh my gosh, that song, this happened in my life and this song meant so much to me. And I think about their story and then I look back at the lyrics that I wrote and I'm just kind of awestruck how a completely different situation means the same thing to them. And it was a different scenario for me.
They connect with it totally different than what you were feeling maybe when you wrote it?
Right.
That's
or
fascinating.
the storyline. It's a completely different situation. But
yeah,
when you look at the lyrics, I'm like, oh, wait a second. That's so strange. Yeah.
Katie Scullin is here in studio with me for the second time. You were here probably in the summer, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was in pink pants. So
you adhere to those rules.
Right.
I'm more brassy than that. I'll wear pink pants after October 1st. I don't care.
Yeah?
That's just how I roll. She's going to hopefully play something else for us. I want to ask you about videos you've done too.
Okay.
Because I'm fascinated by that. You have great. And if you want to see more of Katie's stuff, go to katiescullin.com. There's a bio there. There's songs, some that have lyrics and videos. It's great stuff. Our question of the night, ladies and gentlemen, get in on the fun. What is your favorite video game? Kate from Stevens Point, she's in the 715, says The Sims.
Ooh.
I don't even know that. I've heard it, but I don't know anything about that.
I wonder if it's similar. I think SimCity, is that different? I used to love SimCity when I was a kid. Where you could
probably. It sounds like
yeah,
the kids would shorten it. The Sims.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kate. And she says, oh, Wii Basketball. All right. We'll read more of your text. Let us know what your favorite video game is tonight. Matt Miller is here at 7:20 breaking down the Golden Globes. Right now, we still got time with Katie Scullin, and that's where we're going to be when we come back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Turn out of here, the neighborhood drummer sound, and feel my heart begin to pound. Say you're tired, just wanna close your eyes, follow your dream down. We made a promise, so we always remember. No retreat, baby, no surrender. Our soldiers on
De Pere to Swamico, 97.9 WGBW.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. As 2024 comes to a close, we're taking our annual look back at the year that was, recapping our most read, most listened to, and most impactful stories of the year. If you're new to learning about the recombobulation area, this would be a great place to start to see what we're all about. This year, we covered the RNC in Milwaukee and the DNC in Chicago and broke stories that made national news along the way. We wrote about the fight for fair maps and covered elections in the state legislature like no one else. I wrote opinion columns and feature stories and conducted extended sit-down interviews like one with Senator Tammy Baldwin. I hosted podcasts and radio shows and, of course, joined the Civic Media Network, where you've heard me all over the airwaves for the last few months. This last year was discombobulating at times, but we did our best to make sense of it all, and we've got a whole lot more recombobulation in store for the year ahead in 2025.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us. Matt and Air on air. This shouldn't be a thing.
Hot Dr. Pepper is the hottest holiday drink, but is it any good?
Jade, I'd like to answer that question.
Yes.
No. Have you ever had a hot soda in your life?
Yes, they're terrible. You can also do apparently 80% eggnog and 20% Dr. Pepper.
Get out of my country.
Matt and Air on air. Weekdays 10 till noon on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National...
It's like watching an old movie where the mouth wasn't lined up with the sound. I was out of my mind, but it was fun. It's a good festival. Yeah, I enjoy working with them. Another text from the 715, Mario Kart. That's a popular one here tonight. Katie's played Mario Kart. Chris Casper loves Mario Kart. From the 818, Bridget says, the Wii. Our family has so much fun playing the resort games. That's exactly what I played over the holidays. Those were so much fun. The 100-pin bowling, right, Conrad?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Well, I know I can. I was just making sure you were still there. Thought maybe you took a
Yes,
pause.
I'm still here.
Okay. Jim from Appleton says, I grew up when Pong and Breakout were king. My favorite game was Space Zap. It's a game that you defended your base from invasion. It's so great reading all this stuff. Like so many video games. I'm just not a gamer. Like I've heard of Pong, and that was like, could you even play Pong right now? Do you know what Pong is, Katie? It's just a ball, a graphic, and there's two paddles.
Oh, yeah.
It's the dullest.
That was like one of the first ones, right?
Yeah. And I'm sure the people that got really good at it thought they were hot stuff back in the late 70s. We'll read Steady Eddie. Oh, Steady Eddie's short tonight. He says, and this is for Katie from the 608. Steady Eddie says, I'm enjoying your guest, Katie. Question, what kind of guitar does she play, and how did she choose her guitar? That's a great question. I asked her that when she got here, and he signs it Steadfast Edward tonight instead of Steady Eddie. So there you go, Katie.
I have a Taylor 414. I was talked into it by a former boyfriend way back in the day.
And it's worked out for you, obviously.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's good.
Is that a thin neck or a...
I think so. I have small hands, so yeah.
It's funny because some of the necks, like I played ones that have like the really wide necks.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like a struggle almost.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty good. It's good. I think it's a thinner neck.
It's got a great
compared to
sound.
other ones.
Katie Scullin is here in studio. She's a singer-songwriter based here in Madison. She's got a few live shows coming up in the next few months. I'll tell you about those. On your video or on your website, you've got several videos. What's that like? Like, you like to play the guitar and sing, but you're kind of acting in these videos. What's that like? Was that a natural transition or?
I think I've always kind of liked both worlds, acting and music. When I was a kid, I used to make home videos with my friends, and we'd write skits and
Nice.
pull out the camcorder and. And I've kind of always been in theater and whatnot, so yeah, it's fun. I definitely enjoy it, and some of them I've produced myself, some of them I have other producers, and it's a good time.
It is. How do you, when you make a video, you got the song, you wrote the lyrics, you wrote the music, you know what it's about. Do you bring an idea to the director of the video, or does he or she bring stuff and you collaborate? How much of it is you and how much of it is the other person?
I've done it a few different ways. I've done it where, I'll have the idea and then we'll throw it together, or I've done it where the producer and I collaborate, and then I've also done it where I let the producer just take the reins.
Nice.
Yeah, which
All
is
right.
nerve-wracking sometimes.
What was the one? Okay, so I watched Endless Summer, which is pretty much just you swimming.
Oh, yeah.
Underwater, which is
Yeah.
really cool. How long do you have to hold your breath?
Oh, man. I used to be underwater all the time when I was a kid. And then when I filmed that, I was like, I'm a little out of shape here. But as long as I could. We actually tried to film it in a lake, my best friend and I. And then we realized there was only two of us out in the middle of the water. And she was underwater and I was in a dress. And, it was kind of scary at the same time because, like, when you're in clothes, the water weighs you down.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was stuck inside of a fishnet, and I was like, this could be really bad. And it was kind of murky, like the footage. It turned out pretty cool, but then we decided that we wanted to do it in more of a controlled environment, and so we did it in a pool.
Yeah. You have another one, which is almost like a movie. What's the one I was thinking of? Dream Awake?
Yes.
Is that the one? Is that your son or daughter in the film as a baby?
Yep.
So what was that process like? Was that your idea to bring in your actual child into the video, or?
Nope, that was the director.
Okay.
He and I had never even met before. He just he must have heard about my album release, bought the album, listened to it, and then he's like, hey, I'm a film director. Do you want to meet for coffee sometime? And so I met him, and I really liked him a lot. His name's Bob Tronson. He's a director here in Madison, and we did collaborate a bit. He had some ideas, and I was like, yeah, not totally comfortable with that. Like, let's change it to this, and then it all worked out in the end.
So what is that song about? I had the lyrics in front of me, but you've got it's fun. You're rolling around, having those really sweet moments at home with your own child.
Yeah.
Was that mostly your idea?
That was his idea to bring that in. Yeah. I think the song it's about it's about love. It's about moving on. It's about heartbreak. And the good that comes of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would you say you get most of your inspiration? I mean, a lot love and all that kind of stuff. But is there a theme that has inspired you more than any other when it comes to writing?
It's definitely about love, I think.
Okay.
And also trying to make beauty out of tragedy, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's been, some hard times that I've gone through personally, and I've always tried to take every song that I'm writing, if I'm feeling a hardship or whatever, to see the brighter side of it.
Yeah. That definitely comes through. You have
Does it? Okay, I hope so.
You have kind of a melancholy thing sometimes, but you bring it up. It's great. Yeah. Katie Scullin is here. Matt Miller joins me at 7:20. But after the news, Katie will hopefully do another song for us.
Absolutely.
Keep talking. Maybe we can squeeze 2 songs and we'll see what happens. If your voice,
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. A lot of stuff going around. All right, Katie Scullin is here. After the news, we'll have a few more minutes with Katie. In studio, live from Madison, it's Nite Lite, and it's great to have you with me. Let us know what your favorite video game is, and I will read it on the radio. You can't beat that, folks. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We can't quit till we get to the other side. With the radio playing a song, we keep rolling along. Who knows how far a car can get?
I did back in the day. My son is a hockey player.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Maggie Dawn.
Next up, I'll break down all of the hidden symbols and why Beyonce Bowl on Christmas was so important in this political moment. Next.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4.
But for now, it's
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Here's what the WSJ had said after J6. This week has probably finished Donald Trump as a serious political figure. Boy, that hasn't aged well, has it?
No, not at all. The Wall Street Journal. So after what they just said 4 years ago, Maggie, they couldn't bring it upon themselves to say that guy who did that shouldn't be anywhere near the White House again. Nope, couldn't do it.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. 4 years after George Floyd was murdered while in custody of Minneapolis police, the city council there approved a federal consent decree to overhaul police training and use of force policies. Mayor Jacob Fry.
This legally binding agreement will give the city additional tools and the clarity as we continue doing the hard work about building trust and accountability in our communities.
The agreement means the Minneapolis police will be under long-term court supervision. Honolulu police report that a 3-year-old boy injured in a home fireworks show New Year's Eve died on Monday, the fourth person to succumb to injuries from the massive explosion. The U.S. military flew 6 victims to Arizona for treatment. The burn unit on Oahu doesn't have enough capacity to treat the injured. The government's national average price for regular gasoline rose 4 cents in the past week. It is now just under $3.05 a gallon. This is ABC News.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers wants to give residents more say in creating laws. Evers announced his intention to include a mandate in the new state budget that would require state legislators to consider a constitutional amendment allowing voters to petition for ballot proposals. Residents would be able to petition to repeal existing state statutes or create new ones, and would be able to place binding referenda on the ballot. Governor Evers proposed a similar plan back in 2022 after the overturning of Roe v. Wade temporarily triggered an abortion ban in the state. It started as a beauty pageant following World War II, but now is a position that is used as the voice of agriculture for Wisconsin. Melissa Kay reports.
The next Alice in Dairyland will begin in July, and the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is already looking for the next candidate. The 77th Alice in Dairyland, Haley Heinzel, said she's excited to work with the top candidates applying for the position.
We are opening applications for the 78th Alice in Dairyland. Those will be opening.
Christian Watson lost for the season. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Packers wide receiver Christian Watson suffered a torn ACL and did other damage to his left knee in Sunday's game against the Bears.
Yeah, it's not good. He'll be out for the season or the rest of the year.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on how much of a loss Watson will be for the Packers offense heading into Sunday's playoff game against the Eagles, kickoff at 3:30.
Yeah, it's a big-time loss. Just his presence on the field alone. He's so versatile in his ability to play multiple positions. You can put him at the X, the F, the Z. You can move him all over the place. Obviously, he's got an element in terms of his size and speed that's tough to replicate. There's not many built like him around the league, and I hurt for him just because I know how much he's put into this thing. It's an unfortunate part of our game, but like I told him, I know he'll attack it the right way.
NBA, the Bucks are in Toronto tonight against the Raptors. A recap coming up later tonight with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, wgbw.fm.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy and a low near 10 tonight. For tomorrow, a mostly cloudy sky and highs in the low 20s. Wednesday and Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temps warm up to around 20 on Wednesday, mid-20s for Thursday. Currently 21 degrees.
Oh, really?
Matt and Air on Air.
It is our 1 year anniversary here on Matt and Air on Air. Thank you, Greg and Calvin, for being on this journey with me. It's been great.
Thanks for having me. I can't speak for Calvin.
I'm always thrilled to be here.
Unbridled.
The enthusiasm
enjoyment.
brimming over from you, Calvin. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you.
Matt and Air on Air. Weekdays 10 till noon on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Alba Show.
What's going on in Washington today as we move into 2025? Have your antenna up. Don't rely on all the media sources. Just your own wisdom, your own heart, your own gut. Listen to what they're saying about our friends and neighbors and family, because we innately know these people that we live with every day in our communities. Don't allow words and thoughts to tear us apart. Hold fast to that which we know, which is good.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
On Tuesday's show, we'll welcome master illusionist Kevin Spencer. He's performing a residency at the Grand in Oshkosh.
And Laura Weigert from the Fox Cities Chamber will visit us.
I can ask them,
Okay.
if that's something they want to do, like live entertainment. All right. Is there anything you want me to
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes to talk trash, but only when he's at the dump, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Kicking off hour number 2. It's the first week. We're all back at it. The holidays are really over now, even to people like me who try to prolong the joy. You do that, Katie? I'm like, I had so much fun. I just didn't want to go back to the real world. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It was rough, but we're back at it. It's Monday night. I'm live in Madison tonight. Great to have you with me. Katie Scullen is in the studio. She's a singer-songwriter based here in the Madison area. And Matt Miller will be along at 7:20 to talk Golden Globes. Conrad is holding down the fort in Green Bay. Conrad, anything I need to know?
Not much has changed here in Green Bay.
Okay. He's by himself in a haunted studio.
What? Actually,
yeah.
You know what's crazy is before the show started, the lights just went on randomly. And I've been in the studio for a while.
That would freak me out.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared now.
Uh-oh.
Something bad has happened in that studio. There's no question about it, but I'm sure you're fine. All right, Katie's here. We have a few more minutes with Katie. We talked videos. You had to hold your breath in one video. Go to katiescullen.com. She's got videos, she's got lyrics, and there's a bio there. Really fun stuff. You said you performed a little bit when you were younger, and you're in your videos. Do you like movies? Do you watch movies?
I wish I watched more movies. Yeah.
What's your excuse?
I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm so go. It's the kids' sports and the 9 to 5 and then the music.
Right.
The moonlight gigs. I do like movies though. Yeah.
And you like acting. I mean, you have one where you were at a cottage and you started a bonfire, then you were in the water, and it was like, was that, no, that was Tried and True, maybe?
Tried and True,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, that was super fun. That was up Washington Island. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that, yeah, in
Yep.
Door County.
Yep.
Oh, that's so fun. I love Door County. What kind of movies do you like to watch?
I think I like comedies. I like documentaries a lot. I don't know, just like a cooking series.
Oh.
Is that?
No.
That's not really a movie.
But you can watch it. There's no rules.
Yeah. I like love stories. I
Like a rom-com
mysteries.
type?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Those are popular. So where can people see? You said you have some dates coming up a few months from now. You got to put the new record out. I still say record. I hope that's okay.
That's okay.
And you have some dates coming up. So where will you be playing, or where do you like to play? Like, what's your favorite venue around the area?
Oh gosh, that's so hard. There's a lot of really good venues. I don't know. That's so hard. I have found a new venue up in Manitowish Waters. That's really cool. It's called Manny's Parkside.
Huh.
Super cool. It's got a great stage, outdoor covering. I like playing up north a lot.
Yeah.
It's
like in the
fun.
summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the summertime. And don't know. There's great places all over. I'll be playing kind of a newer place in Oregon. It's called Bodie Howe Brewing Company. They've got a great outdoor area. And then little festivals here and there. I'm hopeful to play a charity event series this summer in my hometown. Crossing my fingers they have
Is your
us
hometown
back.
Oregon?
Fort Atkinson is my hometown.
Oh, okay. That's not far, right?
Like 45 minutes from Madison. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's some great little outdoor music series around the areas. There's one in Stoughton in particular called Gazebo Music. Crossing our fingers, we'll go back there this summer. But so far, we'll be up in Manitowish Waters May 31st.
Okay.
And then I'll be at Bodie Howe in June and August.
When you just said when you go back to your hometown and you perform,
Mhm.
I remember when I used to do stand up and someone would ask me to do a show like up in Marinette. I
Yeah.
was terrified. It was so much easier for me when I didn't know the audience. Not to say it can't be done, but are you that way? What's it like when you have to go perform in front of people you either grew up with or that know you or that know your parents?
Yeah, that's tricky. I think as I've done it, I try not to care. Of course I care. But yeah,
Sure.
that was always really tricky. I would have a harder time playing in front of smaller crowds than large crowds.
Yeah.
There was just more pressure in that like intimate space.
Well, you seem pretty comfortable here, so I'd love to hear you to play another song for us if you have something.
Yeah. So I put a poll out on my Instagram. I just wrote a song over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this one's going to stick, but I decided I would sing it for you.
And this is a world premiere, right?
This is the world premiere.
On Nite Lite, Katie Scullin. What's the song called?
Easy.
Easy. Love it. All right, Katie Scullin performing live in studio.
Maybe this love is right on time. Maybe the view is worth the climb. To see the way the sun can shine as I'm patiently waiting on you to arrive. I wanna hold your hand, I wanna fall in deep, I wanna love you right. Oh, I know it's easy, easy, ooh, till the moon goes down, seasons breathing, leaves frozen to the ground. Hold on, leaning, we'll make it back around.
I think that is the first world premiere we've ever had here on the show. That was very beautiful. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And that's called Easy?
It's called Easy.
Yeah, I love it. I think you got to keep her, but I'm just,
Yeah.
what do I know? But I mean, from what I've heard, I think it's great.
Thank you.
So let me ask you something. We talk about movies a lot on the show, movies and TV and comedy and that kind of stuff. Have you ever watched a movie that's inspired you to write a song?
Oh gosh. Yeah. Across the Universe.
Oh, the
Have you seen
Beatles?
that? Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of mine was a co-producer on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That movie I thought was really good. It kind of got buried though. Not a lot
Yeah.
of people saw it, but I thought
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
What song did that inspire you to write?
Oh, I have no idea. I think
Oh,
it
it's
just
just-
inspired me to pick up my guitar.
Nice. Oh,
and
that's
like,
so
I want to
great.
do that. I want to be that. I want to write a love story like that.
That's so cool. Katie Scullin is my guest. She's a singer-songwriter based here in the Madison area. She'll have some dates coming up, but you could check katiescullin.com. Lots of fun stuff there and a great way to learn more about Katie. Who do you get compared to when people hear you? Do they ever tell you sound like I was trying to, today I was listening. I'm like, oh, some Sheryl Crow, maybe some Amy Mann. I love singer-songwriter. Like I love Gordon Lightfoot, John Prine.
yeah.
He's like, Gordon Lightfoot is like one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, that's
but like,
awesome.
Chrissy Hynde, Roseanne Cash. Who do people tell you sound like, if anybody?
I feel like I've heard the man. What's the
Amy Mann?
Amy Mann. I've heard that before. Back in the day, I used to do like a lot of like Heart and
Yeah.
Melissa Etheridge, and then I got the
totally,
like
yeah.
Amy Winehouse thing and the Kimbra and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like things have changed a little bit for me. Like as I've grown as an artist, I don't really do quite as many of those like chick hard rock singer songs anymore. But yeah.
What about what do you listen to now? Like when you're not playing, or if you're in your car, or you have some free time, what is Katie Scullin listening to?
Oh goodness. I love the band Broken Bells. I've actually been listening to a lot of funk. There's this great band called Lettuce. There's no singing in it. It's all instrumental, but it's been like really inspirational because it's different and it's funk and it's like upbeat and it's sort of inspired me to try different things musically. But yeah, and then I go back to the old classics like Carole King, and I always liked Kimbra. I don't know if you're familiar with Kimbra.
No.
She's the female singer on the Gaudier song, but you didn't have to cut me off, make it
Oh,
like you
yeah,
never-
yeah. Oh, wow.
She's great. Yeah.
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 Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, this has been really fun.
Yeah, it has
Thank you
been
very
fun.
much.
Thank you.
I hope you find your way up further east from Manitowish Water. I don't even know where Manitowish Water. I know it's
It's
north.
like straight north for like 4.5 hours.
Whoa, that's far. Okay. But we're about as east as you can go. So I hope to see you up in that area too. And
Yes, I would love to come to the
would
Green
be-
Bay area.
Yeah, it would be fun to have you up there, and we'll have you in that studio. Conrad, clean the place up a little, all right? Katie might be coming by.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. You want to play us to the break?
Yes, that
Just
sounds
like
great.
Some kind of fun. We got about, 30 seconds or a minute.
That sounds good. Conrad, if I come up, you're going to have to like burn some sage in the air.
Okay. He could do that. He's a big sage guy.
Get
Katie
rid of
Scullin.
the
Thank
the
you so
haunted.
much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This song is called Sunny Days.
All right.
I've got to satisfy the feeling. I've got to satisfy the feeling. Got to satisfy the feeling. 'Cause it's your basic story. Yeah, we're all climbing for the glory, and I'm wishing.
Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SavedByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SavedByTheScan.org. It could save your life.
Oh, really?
SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Matt Nair on air. This shouldn't be a thing.
Hot Dr. Pepper is the hottest holiday drink, but is it any good?
Jane, I'd like to answer that question.
Yes.
No. Have you ever had a hot soda in your life?
Yes, they're terrible. You can also do apparently 80% eggnog and 20% Dr. Pepper.
Get out of my country.
Matt Nair on air. Weekdays 10 till noon on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Alba Show.
What's going on in Washington today as we move into 2025? Have your antenna up. Don't rely on all the media sources. Just your own wisdom, your own heart, your own gut. Listen to what they're saying about our friends and neighbors and family, because we innately know these people that we live with every day in our communities. Don't allow words and thoughts to tear us apart. Hold fast to that which we know, which is good.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at Love Your Mind today.
Get up home, I wanna drive them home. When you're feeling blue, I'm thinking just of you.
All right. The show is always more fun when Katie Scullin is on and in the studio. Conrad, that was fun. Am I wrong?
That was some great music.
Get some sage. We got to have her in Green Bay.
Yes, definitely.
She's a little scared. I don't blame her. I freaked out last week when the towel dispenser started making noises. What are you going to do? It's haunted. Hey, send us your text. What is your favorite video game, folks? That's tonight's question. We've got some great answers. And mine is Wii. Conrad's, what was yours again? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
I had, just sports games in general and
Sports
Guitar
games.
Hero.
Do you like a nice sports contest on the television?
I do enjoy. Very much.
All right, let's get to our next guest, who is always so much fun to have on the show. He is a Milwaukee-based film and TV critic. You can follow him on his Substack or on X or Blue Sky. I'm completely spacing on Matt's. A Man About Film. At A Man About Film on X, I still call it Twitter, or Blue Sky, and check out his Substack under the same name. He joins us now to talk Golden Globes. Matt Miller. Matt, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, and feel free to keep calling it Twitter. I think that is both the moral and ethical right thing to do.
That place is so horrible.
It's not good.
I mean, I have a few people I follow there. I'm going to stay there, but man, it's so toxic at times. It just is a real buzzkill.
I mean, especially if you dare venture into the For You tab, which is truly a Mad Max hellscape of just villainy and wretchedness. Sometimes there's decent conversations on there, but that's only because I've happily gathered a nice group of people that I pay attention to. So, but otherwise,
that's kind of how I am too. I go there. There's a few people, whether they're like showbiz or sports or news or whatever. But other than that, it's tough. You read some of the comments, very depressing.
Yes,
how are you, buddy?
Comments. I'm good. I'm excited. We are in January, which is normally kind of a dead month for movies, but the first movie that came out this year was actually pretty good. So that's pretty exciting. That's off to a nice start, at least cinematically wise. And yeah, we got a bunch of Oscar stuff coming up these next few months. The nominations are just 2.5 weeks away, which feels shorter than usual, which is nice.
Matt, it's so funny. Like, I know this is kind of considered a dead time at the box office. There's no big blockbusters coming out, but I feel like there are some really great movies in the theaters right now, probably because of the award season. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine too. Like, they release them right up to the deadline. I haven't even seen half the movies they were talking about last night.
Yeah, and it's the strategy thing of, if you have a movie like The Brutalist, a 3.5 hour long movie about, an architecture, or if you have, a movie like Nickel Boys, which, not a big star-studded affair, about, race in America, that's, not an easy sell, you want to wait until you can get some Oscar nominations, until these kind of award season things come around, but you still have to release your movie, at least in limited release, in 2024. Right. So you end up with this place where, like, I have had to listen to so much brutalist discourse on social media because everyone in New York and LA has already hashed it out. And I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs being like, any minute now, it's going to come to Milwaukee, any minute now, which I will say, I just saw it is officially coming to the Oriental Theater and hopefully a few other ones on the 17th of January, so hopefully not too much longer of a wait. And Nickel Boys is coming to Milwaukee on the 17th, or at least the Oriental Theater. So we don't have to wait too much longer for those kind of awardsy movies, and hopefully more to come.
I've heard nothing but great things about Nickel Boys too. So those are two I would probably go see on the same day, even though The Brutalist is almost 4 hours long with the intermission.
I was going to say, and maybe not this, because they don't seem light, they don't seem like lighthearted, fancy-free affair. So that seems like a pretty heavy day at the theater. If you're doing a double feature, I would maybe, mix in Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
Instead, just to get some levity in there. But no, very excited for some really good movies to come to town.
Have you seen The Fire Inside?
I did see The Fire Inside. It is the preferred of the two Barry Jenkins related movies that came out on Christmas.
Okay. So that's on my list. I wanted to take my daughter to see that. I just thought it sounded great. It got great reviews, and it's a really interesting story.
Yeah, and it's unconventional. It is not as much about the boxing as you may want it to be. It is not, it's not a Rocky movie. It's not a Creed movie. It's really a lot about what's going on outside of the ring, especially in the final third of the movie, which is basically boxing free. It is not about the boxing.
That's what I heard, yeah.
It's about the fight that the main boxer, Clarissa Shields, fights on the outside for some respect for what she's doing and for, what she accomplished and for the whole world of women's sports in a way. Really interesting movie, really worth your while. I can see why it didn't, get a bunch of, fire in critics and in the awards bodies, because it doesn't have those big cathartic moments that you might be looking for, especially from a boxing movie. And Amazon is the distributor of that. They already have Nickel Boys. And when you're a distributor like that, they just kind of get a little, they have to pick their fighters. They have to pick their horses that they bet on. And in this case, it seems like they're all in on Nickel Boys and have kind of thrown The Fire Inside out.
Right. I have other questions about other movies, but we have to do the news soon, but let's get an overview. What did you think overall about the Golden Globes? And then we'll dive in further into some more, we'll do more of a deep dive after the news, but thoughts on the Golden Globes, Matt?
Yeah, I'll start with it as a show. I thought the show itself was pretty boring. I think Nikki Glaser did a totally great job. I think she did a very good job as host. That's a tough room. And I thought she did a good job of roasting the room without losing the room, which is a tricky thing. And she didn't do the whole high and mighty Ricky Gervais thing where she's like, oh, look at me. I'm so edgy. I'm roast. Ooh, look at me stepping on a live wire. She just kind of did her job as a comedian and did it really well. I don't understand. This will be my forever gripe. Don't understand why award shows don't show clips. They didn't show any award of the acting nominees last night, and instead they did that stupid arrow above the crowd, making they showed a little graphic of where they were sitting in the house, which was the dumbest thing. I've never thought to myself ooh, where are they sitting? You could barely see their face. You could barely see the nominees. Just made the whole thing look like it was a video game mission thing where it's if you want to, if you need a mission in Grand Theft Auto, go to that flashing arrow over there. You'll find Denzel Washington. It's so I think the production was weird and boring. It wasn't my favorite show, but they had some good winners. And
let's pick up. Sorry, Matt. Didn't mean to catch up. Let's pick up right there. We'll do some news. We'll come back and we'll dive deeper into the Golden Globes with Matt Miller, ladies and gentlemen. He's here on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. We'll be right back.
Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW. Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Public employees are challenging Wisconsin's anti-union law known as 2011 Act 10. Supporters of the law say it saved the state billions of dollars. Is that true? Wisconsin Watch's Tricia Young has the facts.
Act 10 saved taxpayers billions by requiring public workers to pay more for pensions and health care while ending most collective bargaining for unions, making benefits and working conditions non-negotiable. The Wisconsin Policy Forum found $5 billion in pension savings from 2011 to 2017. A recent court ruling may restore bargaining rights, but employee contribution requirements remain intact. I'm Tricia Young for Wisconsin Watch. Learn more at wisconsinwatch.org.
For almost 30 years, the DNR has been recognizing ethical hunters who honor the outdoor tradition responsibly, respectfully, and safely. Melissa Kay has more.
Established in 1997, the Ethical Hunter Award goes to the nominee showing exceptional moral actions and character while out in the field. A 5-person committee reviews the nominations and selects the person deemed most deserving. Examples of award nominations can include helping other hunters find lost game, assisting novice hunters, or protecting natural resources. Anyone can nominate a licensed Wisconsin hunter for their actions during the 2024 calendar year and can be for any hunting season throughout the state. Written nominations must also contain the name, address, and telephone number of the witness or witnesses. Nominations must be submitted by mail or email by January 31st. You can find out more at dnr.wisconsin.gov.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.fm.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Mamma Mia! There is a new champ when it comes to stage musical adapted to the big screen. Wicked has been a box office juggernaut since its release in November, and now it's just passed Mamma Mia as the #1 musical stage adaptation, according to Puberty.com. The results of the poll apparently sent fans of Mamma Mia into a lather on social media. The friendly competition and debate between the two films should continue as Mamma Mia has a third installment in the works, and the Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande-led Wicked will see Chapter 2 hit theaters next November. If you don't like to watch horror films, there is the option to sidestep the blood and creep and just read the script. Deadline's Read the Screenplay series has made the script for the recently released Nosferatu available at Deadline.com. The screenplay was adapted by Robert Eggers, who is also the director. Nosferatu stars Bill Skarsgård and has received rave reviews and is currently in theaters. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy and a low near 10 tonight. For tomorrow, a mostly cloudy sky and highs in the low 20s. Wednesday and Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temps warm up to around 20 on Wednesday, mid-20s for Thursday. Currently 21 degrees.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
Hi, I'm Michael Friedman, CEO of Simple Life Hospitality. Let us take the hassle out of vacation rental property management. We'll maximize your earnings and handle every detail from cleaning to maintenance and repairs. For guests, enjoy a stay that feels like home with hand-selected properties, personal touches like local recommendations, and extras like concierge service that will make your trip unforgettable. Whether you're a homeowner or a traveler, experience the Simple Life. Visit simpleliferentals.com.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, some Republicans don't seem
danger when you have someone on your show who can sing and who's really good at it is that you're tempted to do so yourself when the mood catches you. And I'm really glad I held back there when that song was playing. Hey, welcome back to Nite Lite. We are in our fourth and final quadrant, if you will, on a Monday night, broadcasting live from downtown Madison. Great to have you with me. And you can't say Happy New Year anymore, but you can. This is like ordinary time. It's official. The holidays are officially completely over. And what better way to segue into the boring part of the year than with our friend Matt Miller, who joins us now on the stream. You can check him out at A Man About Film on Twitter, Blue Sky, and he has a great Substack too. Check that out. Matt, we were talking about the Golden Globes. You kind of gave me your overall take, and I agree. I thought Nikki Glaser, and this is interesting. I was wondering, like you were saying that, and it occurred to me that, yeah, she's the anti-Ricky Gervais because this was like a promotion for her, you know, and I think she wanted to do well, and I thought she did. I love the joke about Timothée Chalamet's lashes being above his lip. You know,
and
that kind of stuff.
Bringing in Adam Sandler for the Timothée Chalamet sounds like an Adam Sandler line. Like she did a very good job. And again, it's so weird that those shows are so hard because the celebrities want to be roasted, but if you take it just a bridge too far, you lose the room. And when you lose the room, you lose the home audience because it sounds like all the jokes are dying. And she pulled it off. I would have her back if I was the Golden Globes, and from all the reporting, it sounds like they want her back.
Yeah, and anything. I mean, it was a step up after all the controversy last year, so it was cool that she did a good job. And I think the host should be there, should be engaging, but also the focus should be on why they're there celebrating great movies and TV, right?
Yeah, it would be nice. We need clips. Again, the whole point of awards season is to sell people movies and TV shows that the industry thinks people will like. Why not show people some of these clips? If you are an average viewer watching that, you probably have no idea what Nickel Boys is or The Brutalist or something like that. And you walked away from that show being like, I have no idea what these things are. That is a failed advertisement. It's so upsetting to me. How many, I mean, I always tell people, you have that memory of watching an award show and seeing a clip and being like, whoa, what was that? And then you end up watching the movie and thinking it's great. And I don't understand why they're skipping that right now.
That's really interesting. What did you think of Zoe Saldana's speech? I think I've heard sources tell me she just stopped hyperventilating about 3 hours ago. What did you think of her speech?
She was very excitable, which is good. You know, I think you want the secret is to the Golden Globes is that they mean nothing. No one who votes for the Golden Globes votes for the Oscars. They are not a part of any, guild. They're not a part of really any Hollywood machinations. So they don't mean anything of like, ooh, where's the wind blowing? All it means is that they won tonight, and winning is a good look. So in that case, and when you win, you want to give a good speech. You want to get people thinking, ooh, I want to hear more from this person. And I think in Zoe Saldana's case, she was very excited. It's the first award, basically, of awards season. It was the first award of the night. I think that exuberance is good. They want that Julia Roberts star moment on stages. The opposite of that is Kieran Culkin, who kind of came off aloof and kind of came off like, oh, this is nice. Thanks for giving me this. I'm going to go now. And I don't think that's going to hurt him. I think that's totally, it's within his character. And I think people, that seems to be a runaway hit of a performance. There's not a lot of competition for it as of right now. We'll see if that changes. I still think Edward Norton could creep up and maybe surpass him at some point. And then you have Demi Moore's speech last night, who I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think The Substance and Demi Moore are going to be serious Oscar contenders this year. And that's bizarre to say if you've seen The Substance. It's the least Oscar-y movie you can imagine. Yeah. And now I think it's going to be a legit player.
I haven't seen it, and I loved what she said. You're right. She gave a great speech. She said, this is the first award I've ever won. And she's had a great career. Why isn't it Oscar? Oh, and she did say, you know what, Matt, what else did I see? Oh, she said, she thought she was kind of done. And then she got this weird wacko script and loved it. And that ends up being the one she wins a Golden Globe for. Why isn't it Oscar worthy, though? I haven't seen it.
It's not a question of worthy. It's definitely worthy of being in these conversations. And her performance especially this kind of feels like a Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler thing, where it's a really good performance, but also one that matches Demi Moore's career and kind of narrative. It is just 100% not the type of movie the Oscars ever reward. They do not reward horror movies. They definitely don't reward horror movies that go to the places The Substance does. It is a bazonkers movie that is much more of a midnight movie than an Oscar movie. And the fact that the Oscars have embraced, and not the Oscars, but the fact that award season thus far has embraced it so much is wild. And it's also a small studio movie. This comes from Mubi, which is a very small kind of independent streaming first company that started getting into the distribution game recently. And this was going to be a Universal movie. Universal ditched it because they didn't think people were going to show up for it. Now it's turned into a massive hit. Demi Moore is your front runner for Best Actress.
How about that?
And if you've seen the last half hour of The Substance, you do not think to yourself, this is a movie the Oscars are going to like. It's a bazonkers movie. I don't know if she would be my Best Actress winner or that movie would be my Best Picture winning movie, but I love the idea of the Oscars pointing to a movie that gross, that genre, that weird, and being like, yes, that is a movie we want to give an award. I think that is a 100% thumbs up. More of that, please.
So you said, like, Matt, that the Golden Globes don't really influence the Oscars or anything like that. But, you know, in this case, would that be something that Oscar voters like, well, we have to look at this? Or, you know, I mean, do you see any correlation or what do you call it, mix and match that might happen with the Oscars too of winners last night?
The big thing is winning looks good. You know, you want to be considered a contender. And Demi Moore winning last night gave credence to the idea that The Substance is worth talking about in an award season conversation, that Demi Moore is worth talking about in an award season conversation. You know, this isn't like the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, or the Writers Guild, where those are Oscar voters. That is not the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes are a weird body of Hollywood reporters, internationally based. So they don't vote for the Oscars, but they can make people kind of raise their eyebrows and be like, okay, is this a movie I should take seriously? Is this a movie I should watch? And you stay in the conversation. Whereas a movie like, you know, September 5th, or a movie like Anora, which was a big awards movie a few months ago, but got blanked last night at the Golden Globes, then people start thinking like, oh, is this a movie I really need to pay attention to? Is this a movie I need to watch? Are there other things that are more exciting, that are more worth my time? That is how the Golden Globes can influence things, or at least kind of perceptions. Again, all of this may be moot. For all I know, you know, Nora sweeps the Oscars. The Substance totally doesn't, no shows anywhere, because it's the Golden Globes. They don't matter. They're run by a corrupt organization that has gotten less corrupt and more corrupt at the same time. So, you know, it's all strange and goofy and very Hollywood.
My guest is Matt Miller. Check out his Substack at A Man About Film, and check him out on X and on, or I should say Twitter, sorry, and Blue Sky.
You shouldn't say X. You should say Twitter.
I hung out for the longest time. I would say Twitter, and now it's, I don't know if it's wearing me down or what, but whatever. I've got only 200 followers or so. I don't even care. But I know you're
that with a badge of pride.
Yeah, exactly. Which of the performances, Matt, have you seen that were winners last night that you agree with or disagree with?
It's kind of tough because a lot of it was The Brutalist, with Adrian Brody winning Best Actor. The movie hasn't come to Milwaukee yet, so can't really speak on that. The lead actress whose name is escaping me right now from I'm Still Here, Fernanda Torres. A Brazilian movie, I believe. That has not come to Milwaukee yet. That was kind of a surprise of the night, because normally the Golden Globes, they are easily distracted by, you know, the biggest celebrities in the room. And in this case, they went very far, very in a different direction with that kind of indie pick for that movie that's been very much off the radar thus far, except for maybe International Feature Awards. So the fact that they chose her over the likes of Angelina Jolie in the Maria Callas movie on Netflix right now tells me that maybe that is something to look for. Maybe that's something we could see later on.
Right.
Maybe we'll see how that happens. I do think everyone is picking Angelina Jolie to get nominated for an Oscar for this Maria Callas movie on Netflix that no one has watched, that doesn't exist. No one's talking about it. No one's watching it. Doesn't exist. But all these awards people are like, well, obviously she'll get nominated. It's her in a biopic playing a famous person, and I don't know. It kind of feels like it's not happening. So we'll see what happens with I believe the Screen Actors Guild Award nominations come out Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be a real kind of test to see if Angelina Jolie will show up at the Oscars as a nominee, or maybe is just happy to be there.
Right. I have to say, I feel like Shogun has been on everybody's radar. It seems like for 2 years now. And maybe it's because of the way they did the Emmys or something last year, but I watched the whole series. I have to say I was a little disappointed at the way it ended. I thought it was very slow at times. It was beautiful. It was well acted, and it's a great story. But I felt like maybe 2 episodes less and maybe something that actually happened at the end.
Hold on, you're telling me a streaming series was bloated? That's crazy. That never happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and it's like if they were on network and had to make 22 episodes, I get it. But man, you could do whatever you want, on some of these smaller platforms.
It makes more. What is the metric? How do they measure streaming? How do they measure success? Minutes viewed.
Minutes viewed, right.
So it behooves people to make longer streaming shows. That's why every docuseries now is like 4 hours long, needlessly.
Oh my gosh, I know.
when a tight 2-hour documentary would do.
Exactly. What did you like in terms of all the shows and movies last night that were mentioned or that won, Matt? What is one of them or 2 of them that you say people should see this?
I think The Brutalist is definitely worth seeing. It's the 3.5-hour long, giant movie about the architect immigration tale. I think it's such a unique and exciting kind of. It's 3.5 hours. It has an intermission. I love these kind of big swings, and I like the things he talked about last night, where it's like, we need to learn how to push our weight around a little bit as creatives.
Yeah.
And the movie's making money in limited release. They've turned these movies into events. So I'm excited to see The Brutalist. I think that's one people should definitely have their eyes on. I'm really excited about Nickel Boys to come here. I'm excited about September 5 to come out. I'm a big sucker for, pressure cooker thrillers that happen to be about journalistic ethics, and also sports happen to be nearby. That's 100%. They should have just called that movie, Matt, This One's For You. So I'm interested to see that one. There's a lot of really good stuff out there for the Oscars. I know that's a real non-answer in terms of the movie side of things.
Well, you're right, though. I mean,
part this time of year, especially if you live in a city like Milwaukee that's still waiting on a bunch of these movies, is you kind of just have to put stuff on your watch list versus I've already seen these.
Well, and I said that at the top of our interview, like that all these movies come out, people didn't have time to see them before watching the award show. I love that they come out now because, look, in Wisconsin in January, you've got some NFL football, maybe some hoops, but you need stuff to do. And what better way? To me, there are so many great movies out there right now.
Well, and again, you've got the Oscar nominations this year come out on the 17th, a Friday, which is unusual. Normally they come out midweek. They come out on a Friday. So you're going to see Nickel Boys coming out that weekend, Brutalist coming out that weekend. I believe Sing Sing, the Coleman Domingo movie about prisoners learning to kind of deal with, kind of rehabilitate themselves with art. That's going to be back in theaters. The Wild Robot, the animated movie, that is going to be back in theaters on the 17th. So it's interesting. All these movies are coming out now, turning January out of being a graveyard and into this place for incredibly good movies.
Absolutely. Matt, we have to do a really quick break, and then we keep you for a few more minutes. Close the show down here. All right, fantastic. Matt Miller is going to help us close this down from the 608, our video game question. What is your favorite video game? 608 says, "Hi, Pete. Dig Dug will always hold a special place in my heart. I've never loved and despised a video game more." Oh, that's very well said. That's AJ from the 608. We'll be right back with a few more minutes with Matt Miller. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Shine
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. The Todd Alba Show.
What's going on in Washington today as we move into 2025? Have your antenna up. Don't rely on all the media sources. Just your own wisdom, your own heart, your own gut. Listen to what they're saying about our friends and neighbors and family, because we innately know these people that we live with every day in our communities. Don't allow words and thoughts to tear us apart. Hold fast to that which we know, which is good.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Here's what the WSJ had said after J6. This week has probably finished Donald Trump as a serious political figure. Boy, that hasn't aged well, has it?
No, not at all. In the Wall Street Journal. So after what they just said 4 years ago, Maggie, they couldn't bring it upon themselves to say that guy who did that shouldn't be anywhere near the White House again. Nope, couldn't do it.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
That first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all the fatherhood's first, never stop.
Stream, Talia says, yay, Katie Scullin. Totally agree with you, Talia. She was a fun guest. Katie's always fun, as is our current guest, Matt Miller. We are talking Golden Globes and movies and TV, as we often do. Matt, are you watching Landman by any chance?
I am not. I cannot. I can only watch 15 Taylor Sheridan shows at once. So I've reached my limit. No, I have not watched Landman. What are you making of? That's the Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Isn't Demi Moore in that as well?
That's why I was asking. It's got a good cast. It's kind of trashy. It's like a softcore porn Dallas, you know, and I feel like Taylor Sheridan, like there's some stuff of his I like. Loved Hell or High Water. I really liked the 1883 and 1923 shows. Didn't care much for Yellowstone after a season. Like Lioness, okay. But my point is that, like, Demi Moore is in Landman. She plays John Hamm's wife. She's barely in it, which makes me think she's sincere when she says she thought she was done. Like, is she doing the show for her SAG benefits or something? I don't understand. She's got such a small role.
Yeah, I assume that she took. I mean, if you get a chance to take a gig on a Taylor Sheridan written show, that's a great job to get these days.
Yeah,
I mean,
great point.
The guy has cranked out hits. People who are in those shows have gone on to do big things, and he still has some respect to his name. He's like kind of like Tyler Perry, basically, where he's spread so thin now.
Yeah.
At least he's kind of a better filmmaker, better writer than Tyler Perry is. Tyler Perry started off bad and only has gotten worse as
Taylor Sheridan is a good writer. Like, when he wants to be, he's great.
When you're writing 17 TV shows,
exactly.
You're going to have a dip in quality. When he got to focus on stuff, when he wrote stuff like Hell or High Water and Sicario and Wind River,
oh yeah,
he can be really good. But now it's quantity over quality for him.
Absolutely. So did you see Conclave? Have we talked about Conclave, Matt?
Yes.
I wanted to ask you what you thought about the controversy. Like, I feel like people are always going to find something that ticks them off. The Megyn Kelly said something about this is terrible. And it's like, movies aren't made just for you personally. This is something that happened. I don't know. I had 16 years of Catholic schooling. It didn't bother me.
Honestly, Megyn Kelly disliking your movie is the greatest review a movie can get.
Yeah, right.
I think you said it right there. If you have been raised, Catholic, you were a Christian, you have those values. You see what the movie is trying to do. I'm trying not to spoil what happens with it, but I think the movie speaks quite a good truth about how it's looking beyond the people who have held power for all of eternity and stuff like that, all of human. I don't want, again, I'm tiptoeing right now because I don't want to spoil how it ends, because that is going to be an Oscar player, and as of right now, that is still my pick to win Best Picture.
Wow.
I think that is, I think it fits the audience of the Oscar voter, where it's got stuff to chew on, but isn't too challenging in the way The Brutalist would be. It's very audience friendly. It's got Argo vibes, where even if you don't think it's the greatest movie of the year, it's super watchable. You've got great performances in it. I think that movie is probably going to go far, and you're going to hear its name come up a lot over the next 2-3 months.
Yeah, great point. I liked it. I thought, the performances were excellent, and the story was good. And it's just, it humanized all these cardinals, but didn't make them look terrible. I just think people that, if you look for something to be offended about, you're going to find something to be offended about. I thought it was a really good movie, and that's interesting, the Argo connection.
The currency on the internet is outrage, and so you have to keep stoking those fires. So you can't watch something and be like, oh, that's an interesting take. Your immediately thought has to be, oh, this is bad and this is outrage, and everyone must be angry at this too, because you got to keep stoking that fire, because if you don't, then you're not making money, and that's the case, unfortunately, with too much of media right now.
Matt, we've got about a minute left. If you could just comment, I don't know if you've seen Nosferatu yet, but Nicholas Hoult, this guy is on a roll right now like nobody's business. Have you seen Nosferatu? Have you seen Juror Number 2? What do you think of him as an actor? And comment on his movies quickly if you could.
I'm the huge weirdo who has seen Juror Number 2, but not Nosferatu yet.
Same here, yeah.
Maybe we should combine them together.
I know.
Juror Nosferatu, is there something?
I love it.
But no, Nicholas Hoult is a really fascinating actor. He got to start with About a Boy, the Hugh Grant movie back in 2002, and everyone was like, he's a really good young actor. And then he kind of disappeared for a little bit, and he popped up in Mad Max Fury Road. He's the kind of good war boy.
He's a war boy, yeah.
Yeah, and he's had this really good run here at the end of the year where he's had Nosferatu. He's had Juror Number 2, and he was in something else recently where...
The Order.
And The Order,
where
he's really kind of mastered this art of kind of playing kind of weaselly guys. At least that's the case in The Order and Juror Number 2. I think he's really grown into a nice actor. It is this interesting, I think we've talked about this before, where the Colin Farrell thing, and a lot of Hugh Grant in a way is this way, and Jude Law, his co-star in The Order, where when guys stop trying to become leading men and start becoming character actors, and when Hollywood stops trying to make them boring leading men and they are allowed to do weird, interesting roles, then you're like, oh, you can actually really act. And I think that's the Nicholas Hoult thing, where he's kind of skipped all of the, leading man stuff. He's going to be Superman next year, but as Lex Luthor. And now he's just kind of embraced taking on weird, interesting roles and paying off. Hopefully he gets, more attention and more awesome roles like that.
I hope so. Matt, very well said. Thank you as always for your time, buddy. We'll do it again soon, I hope. Have a great night.
Absolutely.
All right. That's Matt Miller. One more text here. Bill from Green Bay says, back in the day, loved playing track and field. Burger Time, yes. And Tron. I love track and field too. And Burger Time was such a fun, what a great video game name. Conrad, did you have fun?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A little scared too, though.
Yeah, I understand why. Clean up the place. I'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks so much for being with me here on Nite Lite. Thank you to Katie Scullin. Thanks to Matt Miller. Thank you to Chris Casper on behalf of the lovable producer Conrad. This is Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
Best friend's house, I loved you then and I love you now.